This video is for all my lady leaders out there, all my female business owners, my female founders, women who start up. Oh, this is something that I have found so interesting since I started learning about it this month. I'm reading a book called Do Less by Kate Northrup, and in it she talks about how the difference between men production cycles and women production cycles in terms of the work day. So men tend to have a 24-hour turn in productivity, and we tend to have a 24-day cycle in productivity. And that aligns also with the moon cycles as well as our menstrual cycles. That's right. So as I've been doing more research on this and reading more about this, I wanted to offer it to you as insight if you've never heard this before, because as I learn more about it, I'm also just kind of blown away by how much I'm learning. So this also can relate to women who no longer have their menstrual cycles or self-identifying women who do not have menstrual cycles. This is where the moon cycles really play in, because the moon cycles also align with the productivity cycles. And so I wanted to describe them for you. So we have the waxing crescent, which also lines up with our follicular menstrual cycle or phase in our cycle. And this is where we really have the energy to be brainstorming and like starting new ideas. This is sitting down, making a plan, giving all your team what they need to be doing to like get something started, right? And then we have the full moon, which is our time of ovulation. And in this time, this is where we should be connecting and like really going out, collaborating, communicating. This is like that very social aspect time of the moon, the full moon, as well as our ovulation cycles. And then we have the waning crescent moon, which is our luteal or personal cycles. And this is where detail-oriented work comes into play, bringing projects to completion, launching, kind of tying up loose ends around sales. And following that is the new moon, aligned with our bleeding time, our menstruation. And this is really about rest and relaxation. And in your productivity cycle, this is where research is done, right? Where you're sitting down, you're hunkering down, you're getting on your computer, you're reading through your books, your magazines, right? Collecting data so that when the next cycle comes up, which is planning and brainstorming, you have a little bit of cushion underneath you, right? So we just experienced, the new moon was yesterday. And if you are feeling like your energy is kind of introverted, like you are ready to like climb under a blanket, you're really connecting with your books, you're reading blogs, that's why your energy right now is syncing with the new moon to kind of bring you inward and kind of refocus you back on getting things ready to go, right? Getting that going. So I was realizing I actually, because of my birth control, I don't have a bleed, but I do keep track of my cycle on this bracelet here. And I realized I didn't know this before yesterday, but I've been tracking it. And this is right here where your bleed time is, and you have this little tool, this little clip here where you move it along the beads, and this is how I keep track of like where my menstrual cycle should be. And I'm a day away from my bleed, so my new moon and my bleed the new moon and my bleed are lining up. But this also helps me understand like where my body is, because your body will still cycle even if you don't bleed, and your energy will align with that, which is actually why I started using this tracker, because I was realizing that my energy was feeling weird at certain times. And now, of course, I know, obviously, the moon plays a big part of that. Now, your productivity, like the work that you have to do in your business won't always line up with the moon cycles or your personal menstrual cycles, and that's okay. But Kate Northrup recommends that if you can get anywhere from 20 to 40% of your work done in the cycle of your cycle, the work that you're supposed to be doing within the cycle that it best benefits you energetically, that you will feel better, you'll get more done, you'll be more productive, and that your cycles will begin to align. Right? So your menstrual cycle, along with the moon cycle, along with your productivity, will start catching up to each other. So if you can get inside that like 20, actually I think she says 20 to 30% range, that they'll begin cycling up together, and the energy that you feel will be amazing. So I actually have just started. I've been tracking this for one cycle. I started tracking the moon yesterday, and I'm going to start incorporating these productivity actions into these cycles to see how they feel as we begin aligning them. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if you are kind of dragging ass right now, it's totally normal. You are synced with the new moon. And if you would like to check out this book, it's called Do Less by Kate Northrup.